Broadcasting live from the studios of World Dairy Expo in Madison, Wisconsin, USA. This is WXPO News.
Good morning and welcome to WXPO News at 9 on this Wednesday morning, October 4th. I'm Kristen Olson. Here's what's coming up on today's show. Ruth reigns as Ayrshire champion. The International Ayrshire Show wrapped up last evening. We have results ahead. A new record was set by dairy cattle photographer Sybil Fisher right here yesterday. We'll have the big reveal. And a sad day in the dairy community yesterday as we said goodbye to a colored shavings legend. Hear all about it and her accomplished career ahead. But first, Ruth reigns champion. Grand Champion honors were awarded to Palmyra Berkeley P. Ruth E.T., owned by Evan Creek of Hagerstown, Maryland, on October 3rd in the International Ayrshire Show here at World Dairy Expo. Ruth earned first place in the senior 3-year-old cow class before being named Intermediate Champion and Grand Champion Female, merited with the $1,000 Udder Comfort Grand Champion Cash Award. The 2016 Reserve Grand Champion Female, Bear Air Burdette Ray, owned by Peter Vale and Mike and Linda Hellenbrand of Cross Plains, reclaimed her title as Reserve Grand Champion Ayrshire once again this year. Premier breeder of the Ayrshire Show went to Family Affair Farm, Caledonia, Illinois, and premier exhibitor went to Glamourview, Yeager and Walton of Walkersville, Maryland. Congratulations. Cedar Cut Burdette Clove Colada took home her third title of Grand Champion of the International Junior Ayrshire Show yesterday. The winning 5-year-old cow was named Senior Champion and before going on to be named Grand Champion Ayrshire. Colada, exhibited by Aaron Curtis Salek of Cazenovia, New York, took home the $500 Udder Comfort Grand Champion Cash Award and the Lillian and Keith King and Jim King Grand Champion Junior Show Award. Reserve Grand Champion of the International Junior Ayrshire Show was Four Hills Abush Sammy, exhibited by Brittany and Bradley Hill of Bristol, Vermont. The duo was awarded the Lillian and Keith King and Jim King Reserve Grand Champion Junior Show Award. In total, 267 animals were presented to official judge Alan Spud Paulson of Arlington, Wisconsin, and associate judge Kurt Wolf of Epworth, Iowa, 100 of which were junior owned. Well, yesterday afternoon, after 16 years in the business, Sybil Fisher of Sybil Fisher Photography photographed her 40,000th cow, Krull Rainy Sunshine, while at World Dairy Expo. This week, with the help of a large crew, Fisher will picture 800 to 900 cows each day. Fisher shared that she begins planning for her time at World Dairy Expo in April or May, with lining up her crew, followed by ordering supplies and checking equipment in August. She began her photography career in 1995 with agrographics, developing film and creating slides. After going independent, she became one of the first photographers to switch from film to digital, but said she still believes in taking a good photo rather than using Photoshop to create a good photo as a cure-all. Even after 40,000 cows, Fisher is still learning and improving her skills by attending classes and sharing thoughts and ideas with other dairy cattle photographers. Fisher enjoys the variety her job allows, ranging from office days to capturing bull stud daughters for a semen company. World Dairy Expo congratulates Sybil on this accomplishment. We're excited to have been a part of this momentous occasion. Coming up on WXP News at 9, the dairy community said goodbye to a show ring legend. We'll be right back.
The latest innovation is the Magellan Active Alley Flooring. The Magellan rubber flooring is an innovative solution for drainage and removal of the liquids in the alleys. The future lies in understanding animal needs. Innovation is dedicated to solutions and to the profitability of cattle rearing.
The future of dairy health is here with a new portfolio that's more comprehensive than ever. Proven products like Bovacalc, Polymast, Today, Zactran, and Epronex. Stop by Beringer Ingelheim, booths 2806 to 2809 to get your free Epronex beanie while supplies last. And don't forget to enter for your chance to win a pellet grill from Yoder Smokers.
Welcome back. You're looking at a live shot of the World Dairy Expo grounds here on this Wednesday morning. Perhaps the most famous cow in the brown Swiss breed of all time, Old Mill E. Snickerdoodle, was laid to rest yesterday. She was born on October 14, 1998, and bred by Old Mill Farm, Bassler family, and owned by Alan Bassler Jr. Dale and Deanna Bendig gave exceptional care to Snickerdoodle during her show career, with Deanna on the halter. Snickerdoodle has garnered the most awards of any single animal. Her accolades include being nominated All-American 8 times, all-time All-American 2-year-old, 4-year-old, and 5-year-old, and is a 9-time class winner and 6-time champion at World Dairy Expo. In addition, she was the 2003 Supreme Champion and a 2-time Reserve Supreme Champion back-to-back years in 2008 and 2009. Snickerdoodle leaves quite a legacy behind from all of her offspring worldwide in 11 different countries from embryos she produced. Her highest scored daughter, Old Mill's Starbucks Spotty ET, Excellent 94-2E, resides in the United Kingdom, where she has had a successful show career herself. It's only fitting that Snickerdoodle would leave us during the week of World Dairy Expo, when the global dairy industry meets, to mourn her loss and celebrate her accomplishments. Certainly, she will be surely missed. As World Dairy Expo attendees from around the globe gather in Madison, Expo officials have new things in store for 2017. We caught up with World Dairy Expo General Manager Scott Bentley to break it all down for us.
We got a couple of exciting things, and there's two that the staff and I think our attendees will be really excited about. First is the Tan Bark. The Tan Bark is a social area, a dining area that's going to be attached to and just east of the Sail Pavilion, so between the Sail Pavilion and the Coliseum, and that's going to offer on-site dining throughout the day from 11 in the morning to close in the evening. There'll be social opportunities in the afternoon from 4 to 6. On Friday evening, we're going to have Expo in the evening again this year, so that's going to be a great place to sit, to eat, to talk, to drink, to relax, to watch Expo TV. And I think that's the second really exciting piece that I wanted to talk about is Expo 360, which is what we're branding Channel 4 as a part of our Expo TV programming. And Expo 360 will run from 9 a.m. in the morning until 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Educational seminars, virtual farm tours, live reporting by our media relations manager morning and evening, as well as terrific cuts from the trade show and our sponsors to really round out the educational components of the week of Expo. I think there's something about the energy of the week of World Dairy Expo. I think there's trade show, cattle show opportunities around the world and across the nation, but there's something about the energy and the passion that comes out in all of us, and when we all come together, I think that's really the magic of World Dairy Expo, is the energy that comes together that week. We have a global dairy event that'll have approximately 3,000 international visitors from nearly 100 countries, and when you bring that kind of diversity with the quality of cattle and cutting-edge commercial exhibitors all together in one 160-acre campus for 5 days of competition and socialization, I think it's magic that week.
Another new feature of the 2017 World Dairy Expo is the WDE Welcome Reception, which takes place this evening at 5 o'clock p.m. in the exhibition hall. The event will allow Expo lovers to network with a wide array of attendees and stakeholders, including the 2017 World Dairy Expo Recognition Award winners. I'm joined by one of them right now, the 2017 Industry Person of the Year, Ben Brandt. Ben, welcome to the show.
Good morning, and how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. It's day 2 of World Dairy Expo. We're excited. I hope you're excited.
I am, and the traffic coming in was a little bit heavy, but there's a place for everyone here.
Wonderful. So Ben, take us back. Obviously, you've been involved in service in agriculture for many years in public service. How did you get your start, though, in the dairy community?
Well, of course, I grew up on a dairy farm like many of us do, and on that dairy farm I had an opportunity to see what others were doing with their livestock. Got interested in registered Holsteins, ended up one day showing here at World Dairy Expo many years ago when the competition wasn't quite as stiff, and from then purchased a heifer off of the very first Expo sale when I was a junior in high school.
Wow, and how did that heifer turn out? Where did she end up?
Well, she became one of our herd leaders, and we developed a family from her, and so it was a good opportunity to engage with genetics that were important to us.
And then eventually you began your career in the public field, serving your state. What made you decide to go into public office?
Well, when I was in 4-H, I had a chance to go on a national trip, and on that national trip I met a congressman, Melvin Laird. He was our congressman, ultimately became Secretary of Defense, but Melvin, I just appreciated his public service and the way he went about delivering support for the people of the U.S. and encouraged me, I would say, just by his actions to engage in public service.
Great. And what has been the most rewarding part of your time, especially here in the state of Wisconsin with the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection?
Well, with the department having an opportunity to share what we have around the world, engage with world ag leaders, here at home to be able to work on challenges that our own farmers are finding themselves having, or our agribusinesses, making sure that we see agriculture as the big picture and not just what is happening next door.
And what do you see as the biggest challenge as we head into the future of the dairy industry?
I would probably say public perception. The public is getting more and more removed from what is modern day agriculture and has little understanding as to the farmers' care of their animals, how hard they work at it, and the science keeps improving our ability to do a better job with our cow and take care of her in a very humane way. And yet the public doesn't understand how the science fits into the things that we do on our farm.
Mm-hmm. And obviously you recently retired in August. What's next for you?
Well, I'm enjoying farming again. Of course, I started out farming in my adult life, and I'm back farming now and working with my son and daughter-in-law. We have beef cattle now on our operation, and we're preparing for an upcoming production sale. We've never held one before, so everything has to be built from the ground up. So that's been fun, and then I hope to go back out and re-engage with the public in some way, not as an employment opportunity, but just as a participant in agriculture and in supporting others and helping young people get engaged in agriculture.
Good. Well, we hope that you continue your involvement here at World Dairy Expo. We've been happy to have you as a friend of Expo for many years, and we're pleased to be able to honor you this evening with the Industry Person of the Year award. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and this is a great honor, this recognition, but I have always loved Expo. It's made us what we are in the state of Wisconsin, and it will continue.
Wonderful. Thanks again, Ben. We'll be right back.
The latest innovation is the Magellan Active Alley Flooring. The Magellan rubber flooring is an innovative solution for drainage and removal of the liquids in the alleys. The future lies in understanding animal needs. Innovation is dedicated to solutions and to the profitability of cattle rearing.
The future of dairy health is here with a new portfolio that's more comprehensive than ever. Proven products like Bovacalc, Polymast, Today, Zactran, and Epronex. Stop by Beringer Ingelheim, booths 2806 to 2809 to get your free Epronex beanie while supplies last. And don't forget to enter for your chance to win a pellet grill from Yoder Smokers.
Thank you.
Teleprompter. Teleprompter. Welcome back. You're looking at a live shot here at World Dairy Expo, looking from the exhibition hall onto the north end of the grounds. It's time for this morning's market report coming from David Jones of Jones Farms Dairy in Stevensons, California. David, over to you.
Thank you, Kristen. Tuesday's global dairy trade event saw significant dips across the board, with an overall decrease of 2.4% in the GDT price index. The only shining star among the bunch was cheddar, which was up 1.9%. This downturn comes after increases of 0.9 and 0.3% respectively at the two most recent trade events during the month of September. Now let's talk about the CME daily cash trading. Tuesday's cheese market was mostly stagnant with no change on barrels, closing at $1.69, and a modest decrease of 1/4 penny on 40-pound blocks. Dairy farmers have been rejoicing this year as we hit a butter renaissance in the market. The gold stuff seems to be everywhere from high-end restaurants to your local McDonald's, but the peak may be behind us for a while. After dropping to the lowest trade since mid-May yesterday, Tuesday saw an increase of 3.5 cents and closed at $2.33. Unfortunately, butter prices are down 17.75 cents overall since the start of September. And now to give an update on the corn harvest. According to the USDA, as of Sunday, 17% of the corn crop is harvested, which is 9 points behind the average pace. 68% of the corn crop is mature, which lags 10% behind the 5-year average. I'll be back with more market information tomorrow. Back to you, Kristen.
Thanks, David. Not only were we lucky enough to have our Industry Person of the Year joining us this morning, but we're fortunate to have the 2017 Dairyman of the Year, Charles Ahlem, with us on set this morning. Charles, welcome.
Good morning.
So you're from California. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got your start in dairy farming?
Well, our father, actually our family are Swedish immigrants. My grandparents migrated. My dad was first born in Hillmore. And he'd gone through University of Davis and Berkeley, and then he'd milk cows at home. And of course, a lot of people had dairies. And in the 70s, when I got through school, I found a love for, as I was going through school, and raised on the farm, found a love for cows and the business. And so after college, I bought into Dad's farm of 100 cows, and in a partnership with my brother, he had 90 cows in another dairy, and that was kind of the start. And they started bottling milk up in the Bay Area in the early 50s, trying to get closer to consumer, trying to find a higher value place for the Jersey cow, for that Jersey milk, selling under their all Jersey label.
And so what led to the creation, which it eventually did, of Hillmar cheese, which I'm sure many of us are familiar with that brand?
Well, of course, we're known for a large population of cows in the Hillmar area, and through science and innovation, we started learning more about the value of protein in the milk. We felt that we weren't getting that value. And then in the early late 80s, late 70s, Ray Ernstom came out with a study of cheese yield formula. And we finally found a way that we could get paid for the value of that Jersey milk, the protein in the milk, by converting it from the cheese, where you're converting 100 pounds of milk of Holstein milk maybe to 10 pounds of cheese, where Jersey was converting to 12 to 14 pounds of cheese. So we started, came up with a dream with 12 dairymen of building a cheese plant to first of all, we asked our co-ops if they'd participated, and they basically weren't interested in participating in a sub-pool. And so they said, well, maybe you'd be better off just building your own plant. Those weren't quite the same words,
right.
but so we took up on that journey. It ended up being a good time, and we've really found out that science has proven the technology. We've been able to get closer to the consumer with our product, and the growth as we look at byproducts, which used to be a waste, really still is a difficult thing to manage, but we're finding values and way to recover some of the environmental responsibilities we have as we do that, and it's really a big part of the business with lactose and protein and cheese. So the combination has really made, I think, the dairymen great stewards to the environment, and really being able to utilize those gifts that the cow has given us in the form of dairy products.
You mentioned the environment and those sustainability practices. What does dairy farming right now look like in California? What is the state of the industry? Can you shed some light on that for us?
Well, the state of as far as environmentally, I think it's real sound. We've, since the late 90s, we've really spent a lot of investment in the environmental side. Once we found out what the problems was, I was a partner with our industry and university partners to form the Dairy Quality Assurance Program to do the environmental stewardship piece with the educational, with the university piece, for really get the producers up to speed. You can't be penalized for something you don't know.
Right.
So we got a partnership with our different water boards, regulators, to say, now what does stewardship look like? And how can we best work together? Because nobody had a checklist. So we got Fish and Game, EPA, and the other players involved in forming a checklist that said, okay, this is what it takes to be a good producer. And we actually help those regulators look at pollution and look at areas that they might be missing as an industry. So I think in that status, the industry is doing very well on the environmental side. Milk price issue, everybody in the country is struggling with that, and that's a real piece. But I believe the gift of milk and what the nutrients we have in it, that we have a lot yet to promote, to be proud about. And as we look at nutrition, that we're going to find a lot more value in that protein. Now is not the time we're getting it, and I think we're going to be patient, and it's really hard to be patient when you may be losing money every day. But I think that's part of the fortitude that we grow up, and we just got to try to be sound and make those good decisions. But I really think the consumer, and especially the global market, is going to really pay off in the long term.
And what does your farm look like today? We've talked about where it came from. What does it look like today, and what does the future hold?
Well, as far as facilities, facilities, I think we're going to keep changing. I think we're going to be looking at robotics. We came from the old California walkthrough, where we had 6 we've expanded that to 12 to 12 cows, and then we went to the rotary Trigon. Then we've been to the rotary barn, 50 cow rotary barn, and now we're looking at the robotics and how that can play a role on cross vent barns. And so the facilities, after 20 years, there's a lot of wear and tear, and we're probably in 25 years already, so we keep replacing. But I think as technology proves its way, as well as we're know that we're taking appropriate care of the animal. And of course, an animal that's not well fed won't produce very well. So I think we're learning a lot about cow comfort, and even how robotics can maybe play a quieter role in a better environment for the cows. As long as we can get the technology, it'll be dependable and reliable.
Great. Well, Charles, obviously you're very deserving of this award, and we are so honored as World Dairy Expo to honor you as the 2017 Dairyman of the Year this evening. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I don't know about the deserving part, but I sure appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes, congratulations. When we come back, we'll take a look at yesterday's herdsmanship winners and a peek at the day ahead. You're watching WXPO News.
The latest innovation is the Magellan Active Alley Flooring. The The Magellan rubber flooring is an innovative solution for drainage and removal of the liquids in the alleys. The future lies in understanding animal needs. Innovation is dedicated to solutions and to the profitability of cattle rearing.
The future of dairy health is here with a new portfolio that's more comprehensive than ever. Proven products like Bovacalc, Polymast, Today, Zactran, and Epronex. Stop by Beringer Ingelheim, booths 2806 to 2809 to get your free Epronex beanie while supplies last. And don't forget to enter for your chance to win a pellet grill from Yoder Smokers.
Welcome back. You're looking again at a live shot of the grounds here at World Dairy Expo. Certainly another beautiful day ahead on this Wednesday morning. Yesterday, Heather and Delbert Yoder of Brook Hollow Farm in West Salem, Ohio were awarded the first Daily Herdsmanship Award of the week, presented by Select Sires Incorporated. You can find Brook Hollow Farm in Pavilion 1, Row 8 South. Looking great, everyone. Well, that's all the time we have on this episode of WXPO News. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to join us again this afternoon for WXPO News at 4:30 as we share more results, stories, and moments right here on Expo 360.